Well, look at here. I think we found another hillbilly singer, Dustin Lynch, y'all.
Yo, yo. How you doing, good to see you, sir. I'm great.
See you. Have a sit. Y'all know this cowboy, huh?
Hello, hello.
Got any Cowboys and Angels fans? What you doing this week, man?
Shaking hands. Telling everybody
deal.
thanks for giving me a cool job, man. This is
kidding.
cool.
No kidding. Are you playing around at all?
Yeah, I just played down at the Martin Guitar Tent. Did some acoustic songs there, and I'm hopping on stage right after this down on Riverfront.
Cool.
We rarely get to do that anymore because it's always full band stuff, so to sit down just with the guitar and perform was a lot of fun.
It was fun. Well, this past year or two, we've gotten to do that several times, and it's really fun. I mean, now Dustin's been around town a lot. You guys know that. And another overnight success.
Yeah, 10 years, literally to the day, I think.
Is it
I've
really?
Been here, yeah.
Yeah.
I moved here in 2003, and didn't know a person up here, so it's been a fun ride.
We were talking about some of Jared's songs that he had written. But you wrote some songs for some other people before you got to sing them,
I've got a couple songs on the radio. My first cut ever outside was Dallas Smith. He's a singer up in Canada. It was his very first single up there, called Somebody Somewhere. And that was really surreal for me because he used to sing in the rock band Default, which I was a huge fan of in high school. But that was his first single. And then my second single is out right now called Thank a Farmer that I wrote with Josh Thompson. James Wesley recorded. And
cool.
It's doing great for him. And a very special song to me. I'm glad somebody, got to put it out on the radio. It's a song I think we all need to hear. So.
Yeah, man. It's a good title. I like James Wesley, too. He's a good singer.
He's a great dude. You know, he's the face of Farm Boy and Farm Girl clothes. And he's a great singer. And this song, Thank a Farmer, just fit him perfectly. Truly
Now,
did.
you've been out on tour with who?
Well, I just got off tour with Justin Moore. We were on his first headlining Outlaws Like Me tour.
Right.
And sold
now,
out.
Justin seems like a really good guy.
He's awesome. And you know what? Here's the crazy thing. Justin's pretty short guy, right? We know that. But he's an incredible basketball player.
Really?
So, yeah, we play ball. The bands would play ball before every show, man. And he's lights out on the basketball court. So that was fun.
He must have a good long shot. I can't believe he's taking him deep there.
It's kind of like the Muggsy Bogues thing, man. You can't, see him. He's going in and out your legs, and he's behind you before you know it. But that was a blast. So great tour with him. And then starting July 18th, I'm out with Keith Urban and Little Big Town. And honestly, sitting in the stands last night at the CMT Awards and watching them do that cover was incredible. I cannot wait to get on the road with them. It's going to be great.
I think I had Keith on his first tour ever. I went down and saw him play in this place called the Guitar Bar here that was about as big as this area we're sitting in. I was literally sitting on the floor. It's room for about 30 people, and I went and sat in front of the stage. A friend of mine said, "You got to go see this guy play." And of course, he was playing the same way then as he's playing now, and just blew me away. And when I got up, I said, "Man, if you want to go on tour, we'd love to have you out there." Yeah, we followed up. And every night he'd go out, he would always start off with an acoustic guitar. He had a band with him, like a three-piece, four-piece band. It wasn't the Ranch. He had a couple extra guys. But he would always go out with an acoustic guitar and just play 2 or 3 songs and maybe something he wrote the night before or whatever. And, he's such a great acoustic player, too. And just see how the crowd felt. And then he would change his set every night just depending on, what he found out. And, man, what a talent, huh?
Well, that's what makes a great entertainer is feeding off the crowd. And it's so weird for me. I've been to a Keith Urban show the past 10 years as a fan. I've bought a ticket and gone, and now I'm going to get to jump the fence and look back out the other way. It's really bizarre. But one of my very first concerts I can remember going to was before Boondocks even came out. Little Big Town opened for Keith down at Riverbend in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and their last song they played was Boondocks, and I remember going, "Wow, that's really good." I don't know what year that was. It was forever ago.
Great singers. And another prime example, Little Big Town's been around like 12, I think it was 12 years before Pontoon's their first #1 record. So, I mean, so many people think, gosh, you get a record deal and whatever, but, I mean, they've been touring, and even Boondocks was a hit, but it wasn't a #1.
Right.
And that was, 8 or 9 years ago. I mean, that's a band that just refused to give up, had faith in their music, what they were doing. And so many times like these, when we're out here doing stuff like this, and fans come up that are trying to get in the music business, and what have I got to do? And the most important thing, I think you would agree, because you're a prime example, is you just got to hang in there if you really believe in what you're doing, and just try and get better and better. And, you know, you might wind up being a star, or worst case, hopefully you really enjoy music and what you're doing.
That's it, yeah. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. We're never guaranteed another song on the radio. And so you just work hard and live it up and then soak it all in.
Now, what kind of venues were you and Justin doing?
We were doing mostly hockey arenas. So 4,000 seaters, you know, 3,000 seaters.
People get loud in hockey arenas.
Oh, it was so loud.
I mean, if they know the building and they've been in there screaming at hockey players, those are usually some of the loudest shows you ever do.
You know, Justin's crowd is rowdy and pretty much should all be in jail by the end of the night. Anyways, they get so wild. I mean, his crowd is wild. My parents came out to his show, and this guy, we thought he had a seizure, right? We were back at the sound booth watching Justin, and this guy drops over, and we're like, oh, man, help him. And then we realized that he had help already. There were 2 lasers on him, and he was being tased. And it was like the first song of Justin's set.
No, don't help him. He's electric.
Yeah, yeah, don't touch him.
Don't touch him.
So, yeah, it was a blast. Outlaws like me, too. He named it right. There's a lot of outlaws out there.
He has a power line hooked up to him.
They whacked him.
Well, did you learn anything out there on that tour? Because was that the biggest stage kind of tour that you've done? I know you've done big stages, but
I've done big stages, but that was the biggest tour, and you know, being his first, it was cool because they were learning too. So, you know, we weren't like the fish out of the water. They were kind of out of the water with us at first, and we got kind of a little bit smoother operation. But yeah, man, you know, having the light show that they have, he's got a great light show. I think that's what I look forward to now. Yeah, I'm always looking to grow my show, and right now we're looking to add some of that stuff to it. It just helps, you know, with the atmosphere and everything. So really cool. I learned a lot about, you know, just the production and stuff and how everything runs being back there with them.
Get your lights, get your smoke, and then if you really start to selling T-shirts, you start blowing paper in the air.
Is that what it is?
I think our confetti bill was about $60,000 a year.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you justify going, okay, we're going to shoot stuff at the air and...
You don't. It's just, you know, the third grader in us just wants to make a big mess every show. I mean, we trash some really, really nice theaters over the years.
Oh, I know. I've been a part of the trashing.
Anybody have any questions for Dustin?
Come on.
Curiosities?
Will I marry you? Not yet.
What?
I'm too young to be married.
How is
Too
it
free.
out there? Any dating going on
There's no
out
dating.
there,
There's no
Dustin,
dating. No, there's.
No.
I'm lucky if I have time to eat a bologna sandwich on the bus, man. There's no time for nice dinners right now.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Yeah, you got one. What you got?
You write songs as a songwriter. How do you go about writing that song? Are you a lyricist?
So she asked, when I go about writing songs, how do I go about it? Am I a lyricist? Is it melodic? How do I go about it? Both. Yes, to both. It really depends on the idea. If there's, you know, let's take Cowboys and Angels for instance. I had the idea, and we came up with some really cool lines that we thought, okay, let's write to those lines. And then it took us about 2 hours to find Josh Leo and I. He's a great guitar player and producer. Josh and I really kind of hone in that guitar riff that's going on. And so we kind of found that. Once we found that and it meshed, you know, it just kind of magic happens. And that's the cool thing is you can say, you know, Kix, the magic of writing songs is you walk in and it's just you and air. And you might possibly come out with a song that changes your life or changes someone else's. And you know, that's why I write songs, truly.
And you might just get all jacked up on 9 cups of coffee.
Yeah, that's happened too. And then go to lunch and call it a day. The new single is Wild in Your Smile, is my third single off the first album that just came out, and it's doing great. So it's up-tempo, summer song, feeling good, and yeah, we're excited about it.
You got a lot of songs. It's interesting that you started with Cowboys and Angels.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people were scratching their heads going, why did you put that out first? You know, you come with a ballad first. And I wanted to come with a song. You only get one first song. I wanted to come with a song that made people's heads turn. I didn't know if it'd be a hit or not, but I knew it would stick out at radio. You know, there wasn't a whole lot out there like it at the time, and luckily it worked for us.
Yeah, and Vince Gill told me one time, he said, you know, there's 2 kinds of songs. There's songs that matter, and there's zippity-doo-dah.
And here, I'll expand on that. I was sitting in, I think it was Bluebird Cafe one night, and Casey Beathard, who's a great songwriter, he's had a bajillion hits. somebody was heckling him about the song "Drinking Bone" that he wrote, and he finally had enough, and he looked down at him. And he said, "Man, there's a fine line between a silly, stupid song and $1 million." And that's a good lesson I learned.
Yeah,
That actually is the lesson I learned, and I finally told myself to write "She Cranks My Tractor" because I had the idea for a while. I was embarrassed to throw it out there, but we wrote it, and it was a fun song, and did what it did.
Well, you know Jamie Johnson in color, you know, who's considered one of the most serious country artists out there and really uncompromising. Do you know what he co-wrote? Anybody? Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. So it just shows you we all got the third grader.
That's
and
right.
Willing to have a little fun and pay the rent.
And appreciate certain things in life.
That's right, exactly. Any other quizzes for Dustin before we let him go? No, thanks for stopping by,
Sure,
man.
thanks for having me,
And
Kicks.
congratulations.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Dustin Lynch, y'all.